To learn the good, the bad, and the reality of the off-grid lifestyle, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. I wanted to address an issue that I think a lot of people have misunderstood what I'm trying to say when it comes to finances. I get a lot of complaints, and there's two sides of the fence of the complaints. One is it's easy for me to talk about spending money and being able to go buy solar panels and a piece of property and a well pump and all that because you've got money. And then the other complaint is folks criticize me for not spending money. And this has been a long thing. I've been doing YouTube for 3 years, and since the very first day on YouTube, people criticize me because I don't spend enough money. And so the other day, I noticed that there was someone who had complained in the past about it must be nice to have a lot of money because then you can go buy all this stuff, you know, the solar panels and whatever all he listed out. He said, not all of us can do that. And then later he said, you need to spend more money, enjoy life a little bit better. And I thought it was ironic because if I didn't have one, I wouldn't have the other. I personally don't make a ton of money. And I've set my life up that way because I wanted to relieve my stress. You know, 5 years ago, I was making a really good wage. I was a manager, a production manager. I supervised about 200 people between two facilities, but the stress was killing me. I'd probably be dead by now. So I decided that money wasn't the most important thing to me. Life was. And so I decided to go enjoy life. Well, of course, I still have to have money to live. And the way you do that is you make enough to live on with a little extra so you can put it in a savings and an emergency fund, and then you don't have to worry about money. It's not that I was born with a silver spoon. I've been in a low income bracket most of my life. Since I have quit, I am now self-employed. And I make revenue through my online business where I do programming for a few companies. I got 5 right now, 5 companies that pay me each month, give me a small salary. And then I have the YouTube channel that pays me a fluctuation in salary. I have to pay taxes on that. Well, the thing is Social Security, I have to pay 15% into Social Security, whereas someone who is employed by an employer only has to pay 7%, and then the employer picks up the other 7. That's 7.5, whatever it is. So when my tax bill comes around, wow, I got this big check I got to write out. It's not that I'm making a lot of money. It's that I don't spend a lot of money. So when it's time for me to really want to go get something that Carolyn and I really have a passion about, we have the money available to do it. The last 3 years, we really buckled down and we saved our money, and we have a large emergency fund. We have a good savings account, and each month we spend $800 on our budget that we allow ourselves to spend on food and gas and, you know, just different things, utilities. And then the rest goes into the emergency fund and the savings account. And so when we were ready to buy a piece of property, we had plenty of money to do it. We could go and spend $4,200. You know, we actually set a budget of about $10,000 from a guy who does not make a lot of money. I actually know someone on Social Security who makes more money than I do. He can't make it from month to month. He really struggles each month. And here, Carolyn and I, two people, not one person, but 2 people, are living on less money than what he makes. So then we were able to go and buy solar panels and a well and all the things that we needed so we could start off-grid living. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take $500 each month on top of the $800 we spend for our budget and call it rent, and we're going to build ourselves a tiny house. And we'll still have money left over at the end of each month that we can put into savings, because I think savings and emergency fund is very important. You know, I'd hate to be building a house and all of a sudden the truck breaks down and I don't have any transportation to go get any more lumber. So, you know, you want to make sure that you got plenty in an emergency fund. So the criticisms are all over the place and they don't make sense to me. How can you say that you should spend more money and then get upset when I say I have enough money that I can buy a piece of property? But I think that there's a lot of confusion on what I mean by we don't spend money. Carolyn and I really just try to find pleasures in whatever it is we're doing. Now, I recognize that the nomadic lifestyle was not a good fit for her and I. And as a result, we gave it up. But we had enough money where we could give it up. And that was what was key. We enjoyed the outdoors. We enjoyed minimalism. We enjoyed being off-grid. we just didn't like the nomad part. Meeting new people all the time, being in strange places all the time. It just didn't fit for us. So what we're getting ready to do is go live off-grid on an old piece of property, and we can already feel that this is a much better fit for us. Parked here at Mom's house, kind of feels like what we think it's going to feel like down there, but it had nothing to do about spending money. We're not spending money now. We don't go out to eat very often. We might go out to eat once a month, the Subway sandwich as we're driving down the road, we're hungry. We might pull over and have a Subway sandwich, but it is not a regular thing for us. Carolyn cooks at least one solid meal every day. So Carolyn and I go and we shop and we spend maybe $200 a month at the grocery store. And you can do that. It's not that hard. You just really have to be frugal. You have to understand what you're getting ready to go shopping for. And so you go into the store and you know exactly what you want. We need 2 weeks worth of meat. And so then we start looking at all the discount prices. We go down to Save-A-Lot or Aldi's, but at Save-A-Lot down here, they actually put meats on sale. I think what happens is they'll put it out one day and 2 or 3 days later, they have to get rid of it. So they put it on sale. It's like a fraction of the cost of the original price. And so you bring it home, you put it in the freezer, and it's perfectly fine. And go to Aldi's. Aldi's is a great discount store. For anybody who doesn't know what Aldi's is, look it up. See if you can find one in your area. Carolyn and I just went to Aldi's and we spent $80 for 2 weeks worth of food. So if you really think about that, $80 for a month would be $160. And of course, Aldi's does have, all the different diets that you may want. Another example of not needing to spend money. Carolyn has very few pots and pans. They all hang on the wall. She's got, I think, 2 pans, 3 pans. And one of the pans is actually used as a lid for the other pan. So this is how minimalistic she is. And she thinks things through, so she doesn't have to go out and buy a lot of stuff. Again, if she wanted the things, I want her to be clear. She is more than welcome to go buy the things, but she doesn't want it. Well, one of the pans seems to be wearing out. It's sticking more and more. And I keep saying, why don't we go out and buy another pan? No, I don't want to go buy another pan. And, the next day it gets all sticky up again. And she said, no, I don't want to buy another pan. And she just cleans it out. The way she cleans it out, actually puts a little water and soap in it, puts it over the stove, uses a spatula and kind of scrapes it, and she gets it clean. It doesn't take much effort. But it's probably more effort than a lot of folks would want to do, because they'd want the new pan where they just wipe it out with paper towel. And so sometimes we probably put ourselves through extra work to save money. But the stress of having to clean that pan doesn't seem overwhelming to us. We don't feel like we need to go out and spend the $20 or $25 on that pan. Now, what's really cool about that $20 or $25 that we just saved not buying a pan was we were able to invest into an inverter or a charge controller or put it into a solar panel. And so, every 3 or 4 pans that she would have had to buy to replace the one that went bad, we were able to buy a solar panel. So there's the thinking. It's not that we were rich. It's just we didn't go out and buy the pan because we didn't need the pan. So we go out and buy the solar panel. Honestly, our biggest bill that we have, besides food, is our cell phone bill. We have 2 cell phones, and we do that because we need a signal. Hopefully, we can reduce that down quite a bit. We already got rid of AT&T, so there's $20 that we've gotten rid of. So now we just have the 2 cell phones, and they're both about $60 a piece. So that's $120 for 2 cell phones, so we can have internet no matter where we're at. Hopefully, when we get down there, we'll identify which internet works best, and we can just go down to one internet service. So that'd be a huge savings. And then when we look at entertainment, we have Netflix, which is I think it's $11.99 now or $12.99. I don't know what it is, but it's just over $10. Well, if you compare that to a cable bill could cost, $80, $90, $100 sometimes. And you never get to see what you want to see anyways. So why not just go spend $11 or $12 on Netflix and still not get to see what you want to see? I mean, what's the difference? You're not seeing anything for $100 and you're not seeing anything for $12. When we go to Walmart, we have a list, and I think lists are very important. Toilet paper and wet wipes and shampoo and razors. And that way you're not out browsing, because that's what gets everybody in trouble is when you go to the store and you're looking around for something, whatever it is, and you're trying to remember what it is you want, and you think, oh, look at that candy, or look at that. And so you end up picking it up, putting it in the cart. And now, don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of this too. Carolyn and I will be shopping and we'll go buy the fried chicken. You know, they have fried chicken over there in the deli. And inevitably, we will pick up the fried chicken. And that's why it's so important to have the list, is so you don't actually make it over to the fried chicken. I got to get razors, so your mission is to get razors and you pass everything else up. And so that's how we really end up saving so much money. So when we really want the big things, the new vehicles or the solar panels or a piece of property, we're able to go get it. Thanks for watching.